had somebody send us a message about a gun that they've seen on our website, and I thought it would just be easier to do a quick video on it. The person, he was inquiring about an FAL that we've got, which is this one right here, but it's technically not an FAL. Was imported by Springfield as the 4800, well, Springfield 48, I believe pre-ban, and then post-ban was 4800. I'm not an expert on that. I'm pretty certain that's what it is. And he wanted to know, first of all, where he could get one. He wanted to know what we thought of it, and if it used you know, all the STANAG or PMAGs and regular AR magazines. Well, it does use STANAG mags. I have to tell you, just as far as what I think of the gun, it is, you know, it's an old design. It's originally from the 50s, and it is pretty heavy compared to what the kind of stuff that you're going to be able to get today, especially AR wise. But it is lighter than the standard 30 caliber FAL. But in general, I think this gun is a freaking riot. This gun is a blast. Uses AR magazines. It's cheap to shoot. It's, you know, got no recoil on a 223. But one of the issues you'll find people that have FALs is they really don't shoot them that much. And even if they do, they think they do, but they don't, especially if they're buying their own ammo. You know, if you're a competitive shooter or professional shooter, you would obviously understand what I'm saying. You know, anywhere between 8,000 to 25,000 rounds a year in various guns, and you know, that's not that unheard of. Well, you know, if you wanted to buy 1,000 rounds of 223 for what bulk ammo is just over $200 at the time of this recording, I mean, hell, that's nothing. 1,000 rounds. Go buy 1,000 rounds of 308 and see how fun that is. Couple things to be aware of. This came in our armory the way it sits. Let's see here. It is SA4800. It is marked Sporter, so obviously for the assault weapons ban. I believe this came into the country as a thumbhole stock, and then somebody put a different lower on it. So if you're going to get one of these guns, I am not an expert on 922R, but you need to be very careful. Make sure that you maintain 922 compliance. One of the clues with this gun is you'll notice the crazy long muzzle device. And it does have a bayonet. Let's see, maybe that's better. Crazy long muzzle device, and it does even have a bayonet lug on it. So also, I like the lower on this one. I had never looked into it, but if you look closely at it, it does have some green paint on it, and it does make you wonder where that lower has been. I guess we'll get to the main point of the readers, and now I guess viewers' question. He wanted to know about magazines. So I got a bunch of mags here. We pulled some out in the armory. We'll kind of run through them real quick, and we're not going to fire it. I'm literally, you know, in a cement building, so that's not going to work. But I can give you some information as far as how magazines work and all that. We're going to start off with, this is we would call this a Bushmaster mag. This is a crippled magazine. It's kind of a STANAG mag, but it's a generic magazine, green follower. This is what we used to have to put up with back in the 90s with the assault weapons ban. So considering this week the Senate has been voting on possibly taking our rights away, if you don't know what was at stake, this is definitely at stake in the 2016 election. So locks it back. drops free. You know, generic name, no name Bushmaster. This is technically, this magazine is probably older than most people watching this video. BFI Wyndham, Maine. So Bushmaster firearms. This is a actual steel FN STANAG magazine. Locks back. It does drop free. I'll tell you what, this gun, I mean, you just go to run this gun and I mean, you just shoot this gun forever. It is just, you know, regular magazines. It's just awesome. This, so we're gonna start having some issues. This is a PMAG. This is an older generation PMAG. This is a, what we call, I guess, a PMAG 30. I am not an expert on Magpul products. While we have a lot of Magpul products, I generally use GI mags. They actually are in many ways superior. But this is going to be that, you know, it's very tight going in. Does not lock back the bolt. Also, it doesn't drop free at all. It does come out. So if you're sitting on a bunch of, again, I don't know what generation it is. This has no generation markings on it. This is old enough just to be called a PMAG. If you're sitting on a bunch of these for this FAL, that's probably a no-go. This is a later generation PMAG. We use a lot of these. This is called an EMAG. Now, what happened was, for those of you that aren't familiar with magazine history, with these polymer mags, during the height of the global war on terror, the U.S. Marine Corps headquarters sent out a notice fleet-wide to all their Marines telling them everyone to stop using aftermarket polymer magazines, in particular in the HK guns. The polymer mags are getting to be a little bit too out of spec, as you could kind of see already here with the magazines. So Magpul, not being dumb, very quickly came out with the enhanced mag, the EMAG, which is a transitional mag to the mags you see today. This magazine does go into the gun, locks it back, doesn't quite drop free, but it definitely is a lot easier. And if you've got these EMAGs, these are probably good to go. I haven't checked to see if there's an issue with the older the SCAR magazines. People know issues that run SCARs know that some of the older PMAGs and the polymer magazines, the backs of the mags can lift up on the bolt stop just a little bit, and it collides as the gun is cycling. So, you know, that exists in another FN gun. I don't know if that exists in the FAL. I haven't really looked into it, but something to look for if you want to run one of these. This is that's a 10-round magazine. This is a Generation 3 Gen M3 PMAG. This is the latest and greatest magazine. The reason I'm having a 10-round out is because we were using it on a precision rifle. We've just never really had a reason to open up any of these. We haven't broken into them yet, so when I'm going through them, it's easier to tell that this is the latest generation PMAG because it's itty bitty small. So this, let me do it again from this way, goes in, locks the mag back. It doesn't fall out, but it definitely is a little bit looser than the EMAG. But here's something that's interesting. It does fall out when it's not locked back. So the only pressure that's, and let me hold this down. The only pressure that's holding this in is the bolt stop, and the follower coming together. So this is not really binding up in the body like some of the older polymer mags. So if you have a bunch of these Gen 3 PMAGs and you want to run one of these SA4800s, not a problem at all. Another question the guy had, he wanted to know if he could, I guess he saw one on the internet in one of the gun forums where somebody had pick rails on it and a folding stock as the paratrooper stock. I don't know where those come from. I suspect those are all from people converting them 922R compliant. You know, I guess it kind of falls into what your point is in having a gun like this. Look, this is a 50-year-old design. It's heavy and long, and you know, it's a nostalgia gun. It's fun. It's uber cool. I mean, hell, you know, go to a class, a training cycle, show up with one of these, do the best you can, be the cool guy with the 223 FAL. You know, I personally would not want to be modifying this gun to put any, you know, put anything more on it to make it more tactical or more modern, I guess the best way to put it. However, if you are just hell-bent on being different and you want to run and gun with, you know, with your 223 FAL, man, go ahead. I don't see a problem with it. That would be fantastic. You know, as long as you are honest about the limitations, I don't see why not. Again, I mean, I would love to have a red dot on this, and you know, maybe there might be an aftermarket option just to put one on it. I would certainly consider taking this gun to a some kind of training class or rifle class. You know, front sight, gun sight, tactical response, you know, any of those. I mean, it would be fun as hell. I mean, you would be that guy, but you know, it's about shooting guns and having fun. I would bring gloves because these babies get hot. If you are not familiar with these FALs, they are piston driven, and these boys get hot. They're like AKs. They get smoking hot up front. So if you're gonna do a 1,800 round 2 or 3 or 4 day carbine class, you better get ready, because you're gonna be hurting. And as a matter of fact, if you were to convert one of these and put the wood furniture on it, I've seen, you know, some of the European or Australian or even some of these Israeli FALs. I don't know if the Israelis are, again, I'm not the FAL expert, but I do know that there have been people who shoot these guns a lot, at least in 7.62, and have set some of the furniture ablaze. So, you know, I don't think it'd be an issue, but just something to be aware of. Let's see, what else is there? 922R compliant. You know, if you can get one converted, buy it converted. This one, we bought it converted. It's, you know, it's not perfect. There's issues like, you know, the timing on the muzzle device is a little off, but yeah, we don't care. The gun's for shooting, and it's a reference gun in the library. I personally, if I prefer the larger safety. It's a, you know, kind of a, it's got a rounded top, but it's a rectangular shape. That is my preferred safety on the FAL. That is an extremely comfortable and useful safety. It is, I mean, I don't have to break position at all to operate that. You know, again, if you're taking a class, you're a right-handed shooter going around a right-handed corner and you switch to off-shoulder, you know, maybe you might want to look into getting a ambi safety option, because that's gonna slow you down. That's gonna be an issue. Cheaper to shoot. Bayonet lug is crooked. It's got the crazy long flash hider. I mean, you could SBR one of these, but then you're just, let me address that. If you were to get one of these, would you SBR it? I personally would not, because there's so few of them, and what would end up happening is, even if, you know, you're at a point in your life where, you know, you're a state or you're leaving guns behind, you're now limiting your market as to where that gun's going to end up, or potentially people that could, you know, take possession of it just because it's SBR. And again, unless you were to go full tilt boogie and want to run it full time and be the FAL guy, I wouldn't do it. But I would definitely it would be fun if this gun was a little bit shorter. I'm not even gonna you know, pretend that's not the case. So, all right. So if you want to see more on this gun, FnFAL in 5.56, go to our blog page, john1911.com. It's JOHN1911.com, or go to our t-shirt page, which pays for all this. That's tacticaltshirts.com, and it's all about shooting guns and having fun. Have a good day.